is a fictional character that represents a persona is a fictional character that represents a group of users. Please, everyone, can you mute your mic so we don't? Thank you. So a persona is a fictional character that represents a group of users. So a persona, simply let me state it in this way. Persona, a persona is a fictional character whose needs and goals represent represent that of a group of users. So who's a persona? What is a persona? A persona is a fictional character whose needs and goals represent that of a group of user. What's a group of user? A group of user is a, a group of user is a collection of users that share the same goals, the same needs, and the same frustration. These are what we call group of user in design. And what is a persona? A persona is a fictional character. Simply, let me say, it's someone who is not alive. You know that imaginary friend you have is that is persona. But in this case, persona aren't just we don't just get persona. We don't guess them. Personas are created based on research and feedback. This is what personas are. This is how personas are created. So persona might not be a real person. A persona might not be a real person, but this persona represents a certain group of users. So, for example, let us say we are building a mental app now, and who are our target users? Our target users are people who work in a big corporation, are people who are elderly people who are about 65 to 80 years of age, are young people who are going through traumatic stress. So we have three group of users now. The first one, people who work in large corporation. The second one, elders between 65 to 80. The third one, young people who go through traumatic stress. So a persona, when we create a persona is representing each of this group of users. Each of this group of users. So when we start designing, we can test our designs first with these personas before then going to the outer texting. So we can make reference back to these personas. You know, in a situation whereby if you are working on a project now, you won't have to start calling the user, going back to interviews every time. So this is where personas are created. So you can reference them, you can make reference to them. They can be your users at that time. You understand what I'm trying to say? They can be your users at that time. So what do we use persona for? I've said it. We use them to test our designs. We use persona to test our designs. And how do we collate? How do we make personas? It's the feedback we get from our interviews. I think you've been taught user interview in the last class. The feedback we get from our interviews. Let me see. Feedbacks gotten from interviews I used to create personas. The feedbacks gotten from our interviews I used to create personas. So let me show you something. Let me show you something. Now, let's move here. Can everyone see my screen? Please let me confirm. And everyone is hearing me. Please confirm if you can see my screen and you're hearing me. Please confirm. Okay. 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 Let's move on. So this is an example of a persona. This is an example of a persona. From user interviews, we are trying to know more about our users, our target users, the people our products are going to impact, the people we are creating this product for. So in our user interviews, we get to know more about them and how this product is going to impact them, the needs they have in relation to these our products, their frustration in relation to our product, their goals in relation to our products. That's how we conduct interviews. So what we've gotten back from this interview now, when we want to visualize is the response we got back from the interview, visualizing it, that's what we call user persona. Sorry, I put my picture here. Um, so this is a user persona. So I created a scenario whereby we are building, we want to build an app for carpooling. This carpool whereby people can share ride. So who are our target users? People who are busy, who want to go to work early in the morning. People who can't afford to pay for expensive transport. You listen to me. So these are, let me say, our two target users now. So we've done the interview with them. Listen to me. We've done the interview with them. So this is our visualization, the feedback we got from the interview. So we are trying to visualize it. So the whole team, the whole design team, both the design team, both the development team, and then the program manager. So we can use this to stress test our design. We don't have to start going back, start contacting the users back again. We can use this to stress test our design. So this is a persona. A persona, what does persona include? Persona includes a biodata, the normal biography data, the person's name, age, location, occupation, family. A persona includes quotes from the person, popular quotes from the person. This is a persona includes a visualization of the person's personality. The person's personality, so we can stress test the design according to their personality. Like for instance, if we are we have a target user who they are very busy, target user for example that they are very busy, and now we build our product. We're in the testing stage, or we want to do our first initial testing with. So for people who are busy on the product now, the load speed is very slow. The load speed is very slow. So instead of taking this product back to the users and say, okay, come first, we have to stress test it with our personnel. So let us say our product now, that is our website or our mobile application. Okay, let us call it the mobile application for easy reference. The load speed is very slow. Moving from one page to the other is very slow. And from someone, let us say Franklin Adjasa now is our fictional persona. So Franklin Adjasa is a busy person. You can see in his personality, he's a busy person. So for Franklin Adjasa, he won't prefer a load speed that is slow because he is always busy and trying to move on to the next task very fast. So this now, we have to go back and redesign and ideas back again on our design. And I did back on our designs again to make the load speed faster. You understand? For let us use another scenario here. Let's say, for example, Franklin Adjasa, who is our persona. Franklin Adjasa is not very tech savvy. Is not doesn't have this expertise in technology. So we built an app the dashboard, the homepage is very cluttered together. It's not easy to navigate. It's not easy to find what you're looking for. For someone who is tech savvy, they can be able to quickly find their way, or within about 30 seconds or 40 seconds, they can be easily to get it easy to find their way. But for someone who is not tech savvy, who doesn't have an expertise in technology, to find their way might take them 2 3 hours, depending on how busy or how clustered our interface looks like. So coming back, when we create something like is busy and clustered, but when we come to stress test it with our persona, we can see that, oh, this person does not have is not tech savvy, does not have this expertise in technology. So we can go back and look for how to reduce, or look for how to redesign our product for it to be suitable for people who are not tech savvy. You understand? So, and we have the goals section and the frustration section. These are the section in the persona that will help us ideate better, will help us ideate better on how to create this product for our users. Let's say the goals of Franklin Adjasa, it needs to go to work very early. Franklin Adjasa wants a cheap and affordable ride. Franklin Adjasa needs a conducive transport means, not to get too sweaty. Not to get too sweaty. So now, these are the goals of Franklin Adjasa. This is what Franklin Adjasa needs to do in relation to our product. Franklin Adjasa needs to go to work very early, wants a cheap and affordable ride, needs a conducive transport means, not to get sweaty. So these goals now are what will allow you to ideate very well in relation to what the needs of the user. Will help you ideate on how to solve the user's problem. Now, in the current sort of fuel scarcity now and the current hike in fuel prices, you can see that transports are very high. Transport fares, they are very high and expensive. So now we said, now Franklin Adjasa wants a cheap and affordable ride, but transports are very high. So how can we ideate? Let's say we are creating a carpooling app. Okay, we can ideate that, okay, if Franklin Adjasa is willing, or we can ideate, if Franklin Adjasa would share a ride with another person, we can split the price or the fee among them equally. You can see that's, you start ideating. Needs a conducive transport means, not to get sweaty. We can ideate, we can say, for example, Franklin Adjasa on the mobile app, Franklin Adjasa can be able to view the car before he boards it or before he orders the ride. You understand what I'm trying to say? So this goals and frustration section allows you to ideate, to think, to use your creativity on how you can be able to solve the user's problem. And on frustrations now, let us say, let me clear this. One of the frustrations Franklin Adjasa has is transport fares are very expensive. Are very expensive. So that is one of the frustration he has. Transport fares are very expensive. So, but it needs one that is cheap and affordable. So this allows you to ideate. You know his frustration, you know his goals, so you can be able to ideate. So it doesn't affect his goals, and you can clear away his frustrations. You understand? You are trying to solve their problem for them to be able to achieve their goals. So this allows you to be able to ideate. And here we have a quick overview, like a quick story about the user. They said Franklin Adjasa is a busy CEO who is hardworking and needs a ride to work that is not expensive and conducive so he can reach work on time for his meetings and daily work. So this is just a brief overview to know who Franklin Adiasa is. And Franklin Adiasa now can represent our group of users who are people who work in large corporations, busy executives. So this is a persona. Franklin Adiasa is a persona for a group of users. Who are those group of users? People who are busy working in big corporations and don't have time. So for Franklin Adiasa now, we might want to make things very faster for him to be able to order a ride very fast. So this is what personas are for. They are used to stress test designs. They are used to stress test designs, and these personas they are created. They are created based on research, based on the feedback you get from our user interviews. For example, let me duplicate this now, and I want everybody to participate in this. Let me duplicate this and bring it down. Please, if you can hear me, please notify so I can move on. Please, if you can hear me, I can still see my screen, please. Can everyone see me? Can everyone hear me? Emmanuel said you can't see my screen. Emmanuel, maybe you should try reloading. Okay, please, I need more confirmation so we can move on, please. If you can hear me, please say yes, please, so we can move on.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So now in this now, I want everybody to participate in this now. We want to do a quick drafting of user persona. Okay, for example, let us say we have this scenario whereby we want to create a product. Let me write it down for you so people don't get. Let me create another. Let us say, for example, we have okay. You want to create a product, or let's say an application. Don't let us be specific this time. I want to create an application for working moms to be able to find new. Let me bring this back. For working moms to be able to find new recipe and cooking instructions. We want to create an application for working moms to be able to find new recipe and cooking instructions. So in this product now, can anyone please tell me who our target users are? From this sentence now, who is our target user? Or who are our target users, please? Anyone? Are you guys following?
Our target users are working moms.
Working moms, yeah. Working moms are our target users. So this working mom now is a group of user for us. Now let us now say we had working moms and dads. So we have two target group now. Two target users. One is for working moms and the other is working dads. So let's create a persona for working moms. Let's say we've done the interview with our working moms now. So the response we got from the interview, number one, is one of the moms said, I don't have time to think of new recipe. I don't have time to think of new recipe to cook before work. And then she also said, I need to cook for my children before I leave for work. For work. Said. Now let's say she's said again that she don't she don't she does not she does not want to waste her time thinking of how to start the cooking. So let's say these are information we've gotten from the interview. These three informations, we got them from the interview now. So from these three informations, we'd like to know which one is a goal and which one is a frustration. So please, can anyone tell me which one is a goal among these three instructions we have here? Let me just crop this out so you can focus on. Sorry. So you can focus on this. So, can someone tell me which one is the goal among these three sentences we have? Anyone, please? Just try. You don't necessarily have to get it right. You can just try, please. You don't necessarily have to get it right. Okay.
If for our children is a goal.
Okay, yeah, to cook for our children is a goal. So, under this, now, in this section, let us include a fictional character. Go to our plugin section and we unsplash. We look for a fictional picture, not one of a human being. Let's look for just any random picture. Let's see. See the picture of a woman. So let's put this. So let's say this is our fictional picture now. And said the goals of our group of users now is I need to cook for my children before I leave for work. So in the persona now, we put it in the goals section. It is a goal she wants to achieve. So we have it here now. I need to cook for my children before work, before I go to work. And it's not necessarily you have to write everything just exact in the persona. It's not necessary you have to write it exactly how you can rephrase it, but once you are rephrasing it, be sure that the meaning is still the same with what the user said. You can rephrase it, but be sure that the meaning is still the same as what the user said. So that's why most people at times, to avoid interpreting it wrongly, they would like to write it exactly how the users have said it in the interviews. So I need to cook for my children before I go to work is a goal. So can somebody spot out a frustration here also? Or anyone at all, please? Can someone spot out a frustration among these three sentences? Guys, are you following? Guys, okay. Okay, lack of time to cook for new recipe is a frustration. Anyone else, please? Frustration, please. Let's. This is a practical class. Let's try to participate so you can get. You remember when I said you learn by doing. So let's try to participate. She doesn't have time to think of new recipe. Lack of time to cook for new recipe is a frustration. Okay. Who else again? Let's go, guys. You can unmute and talk. It's not necessary. You can unmute and talk. Okay, since no one is going to talk, let's move ahead. Is someone trying to talk? Okay, let's move on. Okay, cooking is a okay. James, the way you wrote your okay, cooking is okay. It's time wasting for her. Okay, yeah. Now these two, I don't have time to think of new recipe to cook before work, and she does not want to waste her time thinking of how to start the cooking. Both of them are both frustrations for her. Both of them are both frustrations for her. So we are going to put it under the frustration category, the frustration category. So I don't have time to think of new recipe to cook before work. So let me say we rephrase it now. Oh, sorry. Let's say we rephrase it now. She does not have time to think of new recipe. And then what's the second frustration? She does not want to waste her time thinking of how to start cooking. We can put in that she does not want to waste her time to think of how to start. You can rephrase it and say start the cooking. So this is the goal and frustration for the user. So we've input these goals and frustration section now. Let's say now, for example, during the interview, then the user told us that we now asked the users, we asked them about that technological, that technology expertise. We asked them how experts. So let's say, for example, she said, I don't know how to use the phone and internet that's much. Then she said, I am always in a hurry to get things done. Then she said, I like to I like to do things perfectly. So this we have here, I don't know how to use the phone and internet that much. It's a personality for her. She doesn't know how to use the phone and the internet that much. That's her personality, her tech savvy personality. She's not that tech savvy. I'm always in a hurry to get things done. That's always she's a fast kind of person. She's always want to get things done in a hurry. I like to do things perfectly. She's somebody who likes perfection. So in this persona now, we can say in her personality now, she like to get things done very fast. We can say she's a fast person. And you can see this visualization. You can use it to grade her. If she's very fast, she's a very fast person. She's always in a hurry. That means she's always a fast person. She likes to get things very done fast. We can leave this as very high. And let us say she likes to get things done perfect. Let's say perfection. During the interview, she likes to she like things done perfectly. Like things done perfectly, but not that it must be done perfectly. But it's a like. She likes things done perfectly. So we can grade it and say, okay, she's not the person that likes it very, very, very must, not a must for her. So we can grade her, we can bring it to the middle. Something is a personality. So she's not tech savvy. She doesn't know how to use the phone and the internet. She's not tech savvy. Let me change this to tech savvy. Savvy. Let me say savviness. Tech savviness. She doesn't know how to use it. Doesn't know how to go around it. So we can bring this down. And we can, since we don't have any other, we can take this out and you can leave those three there. So that is her personality. And let's say she has this famous quote she always says, like, let's, in relation to what we are trying to build for them, let's say it is make homemade food so your family gets to love you more and always. That's a quote for her. That's a quote for her. So now let's go to the biodata section. In the biodata section now, you don't necessarily have to include the exact biodata of your group of users, because when we say we want to start imputing our exact biodata, I won't say we want to start imputing our exact biodata, we can have like about 100 personas, because different people has different data, we can have about 100 personas. But what we are trying to do is we want one persona to represent a group of users. That's if you're saying working moms, we want this persona to, if we've done interview with about 20 working moms, we want this persona to reflect everything those working moms said during their interview, their goals, their frustration, their needs. You want this persona to reflect it, to be this persona represents this 100 moms. Just like how we have leaders. Our leaders represent the whole country, or the people they are leading. So these are our persona who represent this group of users who are our working moms. You understand? So you can just decide to give it a fictional name of your choice. Let's say you want it to be Caroline Escobar. Okay, somebody give me to know you are following. Somebody suggest a year for us. Age. Somebody suggest an age for us. Somebody suggest an age, please. Let's do that very fast so we can move on. Suggest an age. 35. Okay. 35 years. Let's see, 35 years. Somebody suggest a location very fast so we can move on. Location. Okay, 22, 35, 22. Okay, I pick 35. Somebody suggest a location. Ibadan. Say Ibadan, Nigeria. New Jersey. Okay, let's go with New Jersey. New Jersey. So New Jersey, USA, right? I think I'm right. So since she's a busy mom, somebody a working mom, somebody quickly on the occupation, somebody should suggest an occupation for us very fast. An occupation. A nurse, a clerk, a nurse. I think I've answered. Okay. Let me use a doctor. A doctor. I saw a doctor. Doctors are very busy most of the times, and they like. So let's use doctor. So family. Somebody suggest a family real quick. I'm choosing the first person. Somebody suggest a family. The first person. Suggest a family. Husband and 3 children. Okay. Let's see. Husband and 3 kids. Husband and 3 kids. Spend close a bit. So one thing I also want to include right now is we try to write the platform. This is the device the person is going to be experiencing the product on. That's what I mean by when I say platform. Platform is where our users will be experiencing our product on. So the device which our group of users are going to be using this products on. So let's say platform, or let me say device, so we can get on the same board for someone who is not, program managers and people who are not in the interview. So device. So somebody suggest a device, maybe it's an iPhone. Anyone? Somebody suggest. Let's see. Guys, suggest. Let's go. Let's move on. iPhone 7. Okay, iPhone 7. iPhone 7. So we just write mobile phone, iPhone 7 iOS. iPhone 7 iOS slash mobile phone. Or let me say smartphone. Smartphone. Then, being done with our biodata category, then we can move to this brief description about the person. So now, please, you can unmute your mic if you want to talk. You can unmute your mic. Can somebody just, with what we've been saying so far, can somebody just give us a brief description of our persona now, which is Caroline Escobar, which should be representing the group of users which are working moms. So can somebody give us a brief description? This description is going to include who Caroline Escobar is, where she lives, her work, and her goal. You understand? Who she is, where she works, her occupation, and her goal. Okay, let's move on. Please, you can unmute your mic if you want to talk. So we can quickly, you can unmute your mic. Let's go on. Or should I call names? You can unmute your mic. Let it be free. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, can I talk?
Okay, you can move. You can go on.
Okay, so I would say Caroline is a doctor in her mid 30s
Okay.
who needs who needs idea about food and wants who needs ideas about food and likes to prepare home foods.
Okay. Thank you, Joy. Joey. I think if I got that right. Please, another person. Can you go, Joey? Thank you so much. That's a description. Another person. Let's make it interactive. Let's make the class fun. So another person. Or should I call names? Another person. Let's go, guys. Okay. Then if you guys will force me to call names, I think I'll call names now. Amarachuku, can you please help us out? Amarachuku, can you please help us out with a description so we can know you are following? Amarachuku, are you there? Okay, Amarachuku is not there. Atta, can you please help us out? If I got it right, Atta. Okay, Atta is going to help us out now. Okay, Atta, you can unmute your mic if you wish to talk. You can unmute your mic. Okay, I think Atta is going to type. Someone said, okay, Shadrach Akimbawale said, Caroline Escobar is a working mom with 3 kids who is time conscious. As okay, it's also what Caroline is. Who again? Let's go so we can move on. We're almost done with the persona. Don't have anybody else. Okay, seems I will have to go and do this. Let's say Caroline Escobar. Caroline Escobar is a doctor in her mid 30s. In her mid 30s. In her mid 30s. A doctor in her mid 30s who lives in New Jersey, USA, and she needs to cook for her children. Let's say kids. Her kids before she goes to school. Before she goes to work. And then you can also add maybe the frustrations she's facing, and she does not want to waste her time to think of how to start the cooking, and she does not have time to think of new recipes, and she does not have time to think of new recipe. So this is a brief description about Pablo Escobar. Just like tell me you in 10 seconds. So this is a brief description about Pablo Escobar in relation to the product we are trying to. So for this one thing I always say, when you are doing interview, when you are conducting interviews, when you are doing your persona, your empathy map, what you ask the users, the information you try to get from them should be what will help your product, what is related to what you are trying to build? Because if you are asking them questions that are outside what you are trying to build, if you're asking them questions that are outside what we are trying to build, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you at all. Because you don't want to start filling your files that are going to pass across to other team members. You don't want to start filling it with jargons, with things that are not even related to the product. So one questions you're asking should be related to what you are trying to build, the product you're trying to build. If it's an application, if it's a website, if it's a web app, make sure it's related so you can have good information, good documents to rely on when you are designing or when you are trying to stress test your design, so you can have good information, you can have accurate information. So don't want to start making assumptions just because of you have maybe jargons on it. So this is a tip I'm going to give you. So now let's move on to empathy map. Let's move on to empathy map. So what's an empathy map in general? An empathy map is a chart or is an illustration that shows what the user says, think, does, and feels during an interview. So let me write that out. So you can see. Okay, before I move on, please let's confirm from everybody. Did everyone get what we said about persona? And if anyone has question, can ask now before we move on. A brief question about the persona. If nobody, did everyone understand the persona? So we can move on. Anyone at all? Please, we need confirmation so we can move on, guys. Did everyone understand the persona? Okay, yes, James. We need more confirmation. Okay, Maruf. Okay. Let me get about 5 confirmations so we can move on, guys. Okay. Okay, one more. Okay. Then, okay. Then we can move on. So, what is an empathy map? What is an empathy map? So, say an empathy map. Empathy map is an illustration. So, illustration of what the user says, thinks, does, and sorry, does and feel. So these are the 4 things that are included in an empathy map. What the user says, what the user thinks, what the user does, and what the user feels during an interview. So we call it empathy map. You know what empathy is? Empathy is different from sympathy. Empathy is different from sympathy. Empathy is when you try to place yourself in someone's shoes. You try to feel what the person is feeling. You try to feel what the person is feeling. You try to put yourself in the person's shoe. That's what we call empathy. You try to put yourself in the person's shoe. Why sympathy is being sorry for a person's situation. You're sorry about, maybe let's say someone has cancer. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. You try to sympathize with the person. You're sorry. You're not feeling good about. But when we say empathy, you try to feel. You try to put yourself in the person's shoes. Try to feel what the person is feeling at that moment. You understand? That's what we call empathy. It's different from sympathy. You try to feel what the person is feeling at that moment. That's what we call empathy. And when we say empathy map, we're trying to illustrate what user says, thinks, does, and feel, so we can put ourselves in their shoes with this empathy map, we can put ourselves in these scenarios, put ourselves in their shoes to be able to feel close. If we can't feel exactly, we can feel close to what they are feeling. You understand? Try to empathize with them. Understand? So an empathy map is an illustration of what the user thinks, says, thinks, does, and feels during an interview. Let me add during an interview. So this is the structure of an empathy map. What the user says, you can see this here, says, what the user thinks, does, and feel, and add feels. What the user says, thinks, does, and feels. You can see this is the structure of an empathy map, and you can have a picture. If you want it to be a picture of the person, you can put it. If you want it to be a fictional picture, you can add any avatar. Let me say for example, an emoji. You can add let's just say an avatar, not something very. I'm trying to bring something in for you guys. Memoji. So you can add an avatar, a fictional avatar, something like this. You can add it to represent the user. Not necessarily you put the user information there. You can add an avatar to represent the person. So an empathy map, what the person says, thinks, does, and feels. So empathy map, we have two types of empathy map. We have single empathy map and we have aggregate user empathy map. When we say single empathy map, this one illustrates what a particular user, just one user says, what the user says, thinks, does, and feels during an interview. But when we say an aggregate empathy mapping, it talks about what a group of user, like I've said before. I think most people know the meaning of group of user now. What a group of user says, thinks, does, and feels during an interview. You understand? So those are two type of empathy map we have. So let's say we want to create our own empathy map now. Let's open and create our own empathy map also. Then bring this back up. This. Okay. So let's try it now. Um, for example, let's use our working moms and dad as scenario now. What did she say? She said she does not want to waste her time cooking, thinking of how to start the cooking. So that's what she said, what she says during the interview. So let's copy this. She does not want to waste her time thinking of how to start cooking. So this will go under the says section. Oh, sorry. Let me edit this back. 20. 20. So she does not want to waste her time thinking of how to start cooking. That's one thing she said. You can add, it's not necessarily you add just one, not a must. You can add, if the person says more than 4 or 5 things, you can add them there. You can add more than 4 or 5. You just need to expand and then you can edit it, expand. And for this empathy map and user personas, there are free templates online where you can find out, even in the Figma community, that where you see free templates. After this, I'm going to show you on the Figma community templates for empathy map, user persona, customer journey, a lot of templates out there. So let's say she does. So what she does now. She said she cook for her children before she goes to work. That is what she does. She cooks for her children. She does that. She cooks for her children before she goes to work. Okay, right? She cooks for her children. Children before she goes to work. So then think. Let's say thinking now to get what the user think. This is not something outspoken, but we are not mind readers as designers. So we just try to use facial expressions and body languages to try to understand what the user feels thinks. Sorry, what the user thinks. So, for example, a furrowed eyebrow can mean the person is angry. A furrowed eyebrow can mean the person is angry. Angry. Let's say kind of uneasiness. Uneasiness, like the person might be thinking she's in hurry. She's in a hurry. So we're not mind reader, but we try to use body languages to try to get what our users are saying. Try to use body languages to try to get what our users are saying. So, for example, let's say during our interview, our working mom was thinking, oh, she has to return back to the office. That means she let's say she has limited time. She has limited time. That's what she was thinking. And what's the feel? What our user feel? Yeah, now you don't necessarily have to their feelings. You can ask them. You can ask them about their feelings. Madam, what do you feel when you are late? Or how do you feel when preparing these meals? So you can ask them what they feel. So let's say she said let's say she said I feel uneasy when I'm late for work and I have to cook. I feel uneasy when I'm late for work and I have to cook. So we can translate that she feels uneasy when she is late for work and she has to cook. So this is what she says, thinks, does, and feels. So based on this now, based on this now, can someone based on this empathy mapping now, we can use information from this empathy map now to fill our user persona. So based on this empathy map now, let's come back here now and say, okay, let's want to use this empathy map and fill this user persona now. Based on this,
Thing is on.
guys, please, from the empathy map, which one can we pull? Guys, please, I need you guys to answer so we can know you're following. You can unmute your mic if you want to talk. It's not necessarily you have to type. You can unmute your mic if you want to talk. It's not necessary you have to type it out. You can unmute your mic. Anyone? Let's make this interactive, guys. Let's make it fun. Anyone? Okay, I said from the empathy map. From the empathy map, we want to use this empathy map now to fill our user persona. So from the empathy map now, which one of this information on the empathy map can we fill? Okay, let me say, can we fill in our goals section? In our goals section, which of this empathy map can we fill there? In our goals section, which of this information on the empathy map can we fill there? Okay, let's go. Guys, let's interact because we have limited time actually. Let's interact. Let's okay, she has limited time. Go to work early. Okay. She has limited time. She fall under frustration. Go to work early. Fall under goals. Away again. Away again. Okay, limited. Okay. Okay. So So okay, we have limited time to cook for our kids. Cook for our kids. She wants to be happy. I'm sorry, guys.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, just a minute. It's joining you guys. Mojit, please unmute your mic.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I need to clear my background. I'm very sorry for that. So now, someone said limited time to cook for our kids, cook for our kids. She wants to be happy at the end of the day. Limited time and having to cook for our kids. So she wants to be happy at the end of the day. It's not on the empathy map, but I guess everyone wants to be happy at the end of the day. So let's use this to fill our persona again. So goals, under goals, you can say she wants to go to work early. Yeah, go to work early. OGOG Ama said she wants to go to work early. Let's say I need to go to work early. I need to go to work early. Sorry about that. I need to go to work early. Then frustration. Let's see. Let's clear one of these out, or we can just expand. Bring this down, and then expand. And just expand. She has limited time. She has limited time. So you can see we can feel using our empathy map. We can feel our user persona. That's the importance of user persona. It really helps a lot in the research stage. It really helps you a lot, and that's all on empathy map and user persona. Is if you guys get it, you guys should say yes in the chat box. We need confirmation so we can move on to customer journey map and then stakeholder. So we can end the day. If you guys understand the empathy map, say yes, please. If you don't understand, please you can tell us so we can. Okay, yes. Okay, let's move on to customer journey map or user journey map. Some people call it customer journey map. Some people call it user journey map. Some people call it customer journey map. So let's move on. So what's a user journey map? A user journey map is a chart. Let's say a chart or an illustration of the journey of a user when they try to perform a specific or achieve a specific goal. Let's say that it's the journey, the steps, steps a user take to achieve a particular goal. That's the user journey. The step, the actions they take, the step, actions they take to achieve a particular goal. Let me write down there. So user journey map. User journey map. Then we can say user journey map is an illustration of the steps and action users take to achieve sorry achieve a particular goal So that's what user journey map is. It's an illustration of the steps and action our users take to achieve a particular goal. So let's move here. This is an example of a user journey map. This is an example. There are other templates you can also find online, but this is an example of a user journey map. So let's say the actions, the steps. So in a goal, when you're trying to achieve a goal, you have different actions in a goal, right? You have different actions when you're trying to achieve a goal. And under these actions act as each actions have different steps you take to achieve them while doing them. And in each action, you have what you are feeling at that moment. You have what you are feeling at that moment. That's we have the feeling objective in our map. You have what you are feeling. That's what we include in the feeling objective. That's what we include in the feeling objective. You have what you feel during each action and improvement opportunities. I mean, this is how we can improve areas in which we can improve. And I'll say user journey maps are like how we enter them most times are different. Number one, if you're starting a new project, if you're starting a new product, your user journey map have to entail with how the user goes around solving their problem or achieving their goal in their entire life. Like it's encompassing all the entire user lives. Like in that for that day, let's say in our scenario now, she wants to cook for her children before she goes to work. So the actions she's going to take for that day in relation to everything, we are going to take note of that. The steps, the feelings, and the improvement opportunities in relation to that. We're going to include it in the user journey map. So, but if it's for a product that is already live, let's say a live product, something people have already been using, maybe an application or website, your user journey map might will want to entail every step to achieve a goal in that app. So everything, all the steps, the action will be inside that app, will be inside that product, not outside it. So for now, we are focusing on something outside the product. We are focusing on something outside the product. That's we want to create something, uh, an application where working moms can get um recipes easily. So let's say one of the actions. Okay, let's say now one of the actions. Let's say the name. In our user journey map, let's say the name is Caroline. Caroline. What again? What's her name? Caroline Escobar. Escobar. Pablo. Caroline Escobar. Escobar. Let's say our goal is to cook. Needs a goal. Needs to cook for kids before going to work. Before going to work. Before going to work. So this is the name of our user now. It's our user persona we're using obviously. Needs to cook for our kids before going to work. So a user journey map is most times filled with your user persona and information you get and feedback you've gotten from your user interview. So one of the actions is going to take now is needs to cook for her kids before going to work. Let us say now she doesn't have this application in her life. Now she doesn't have it in her life. So can you guys now suggest on what she's going to do, the action she's going to take? Okay, let me say I'll say the action and you guys can say the steps. And please, guys, we want to be very fast about this so we can cover stakeholder interview before we move on. Let us say um okay, prepare sorry. prepare cooking materials. Prepare cooking. So, prepare cooking materials. Prepare cooking materials. So that's an action. So somebody, you guys should start. We can start suggesting now. Okay, please the steps. Okay, someone please steps which we follow to prepare cooking. To prepare our cooking materials, please guys. So you can be fast about this. You find what to cook. Okay. Yeah, find what to cook. That's nice. Find what to cook. Find what to cook. Or you can also say decide on what to cook. Let's say decide on what to cook. Then the next person. Let's see, please get the ingredients. Please, you guys. It's only one person that's saying this, so you guys should like. Let's make this interactive, huh? Let's make this interactive, please. OG Ama, I think gets the ingredients. Gets the ingredients.
Please, can we unmute our mic and let's talk?
Okay. OG Ama said that his mic is not working. I don't know if it's a male or female. I'm sorry. He said the mic is not working. Wash and prepare the ingredients. Okay, that's a step. Wash and prepare the ingredients. Wash and prepare. Let's just use ing to represent ingredients. Ing. We're already out of space. You can always expand it. I'm trying to manage our time. Yeah. So filling. Let's say she's feeling. Let's say for instance she's feeling. Oh, the time is gone. Let's say feeling objective in a hurry. In a hurry. Let's say that's what in a hurry. Or let's say confused, because when you wake up and you're thinking of, most of us most times do take time to think about what you want to eat, and let's say confused. We can also elaborate more. Confused on what to cook. So improvement opportunities. Okay, where what and what can we improve on in our action, in the steps we've taken which improvement opportunities we have? What can we improve? Feeling way of how to manage time and achieve our goal. Okay. Adetunji, that's right. Feeling of how to manage our time and achieve our goal. Yeah. So on the improvement opportunities, guys, yes, what can we improve in this? What can we improve? Some just random creative thinking. Let's go, guys. Just random creative thinking. Okay, wake up early. Okay, to save time and avoid confusion. But already prepared. Okay, guys, let's go. Just creative thinking. Just guys, let's go. We've gotten to 3 response now, guys. Please, let's go. Since okay, get cooking ingredients and materials a day before. Okay, being proactive. Okay, let's say we'll say build an app or create an app that suggests meals for her daily. Suggest. Okay, so the next action now. Let's say the next action now is start cooking. So start cooking now. Let's say the steps in which she starts cooking. Okay, have a food timetable. I think Maruf, that's nice also. So in the next action is start cooking. So the steps, can someone ideate on a step for us? Very fast. Guys. Let's ideate on. Let's ideate, guys. Let's think. Creative thinking. Just anything that comes to your head. Put the pot on the cooker. Okay, that's no problem. That's a step. Also, put the pot on the cooker. That's a step. That's a step. Just you guys should talk. Make it fun. Put the pots on the cooker. You guys should just anything. Not necessarily you have to
Ensure
make
she
it
has enough
rational.
gas.
Turn on turn on the gas, right?
She has to ensure she has enough gas before she starts.
Okay, check if she has enough gas. Okay, check if she has enough gas. Just make it fun. No, doesn't necessarily have to be radical thinking. Check if there is gas. Okay. Boil rice. Okay, let's say she wants to cook rice. Let's say boil rice. Boil rice. Boil rice. Okay. Boil rice. Boil rice. Okay. And then let's move. Let's move. Let's say the filling objective right here now. Let's say she's in a hurry. In a hurry. In a hurry to finish. In a hurry to finish. What can we improve here? Guys, just creative thinking. Don't have to be okay. He said Emmanuel John, it seems you are going to cook in this class. Oh. Said steam meat and prepare to make tomato stew. We are going to cook. Arrange all ingredients needed. Yeah, we have enough chef here. Okay. Simple meals for breakfast. Okay. Guys, let's make it. Don't have to think. Just anything that is in your mind. Just say that's one thing about being creative. You have to just go crazy. Just go crazy.
She
It's
has
anything
to
that comes
improve
to your
on the
mind.
time she wakes up.
Okay. We have simple meals for breakfast. Simple meals. Simple meals. Simple meals. Simple meals for breakfast. Let's say time management. Time management. So the next action now, let's say she has started cooking. It's and okay, let me add an improvement opportunity here also. That's create create an application that gives a recipe. Oh, sorry, I'll just expand this so you guys can see. Gives a recipe for what to cook and what to cook rather and what to cook and what to cook. So sorry. I'm going to share this file. I'm still going to make everything very editable for you guys. If you want to start using it, I'll make it editable. And then another action. Let's see, another action now is dish the food. Dish the food. Let's see, that's another action. Dish the food. So steps in dishing the food, guys. Let's go. Steps in dishing the food. Let me be seeing answer. Okay, and I have to track at time. Okay, Ojama, thank you for that. So let's cooking steps and recipe for quick cooking through the app. Thank you, Emmanuel John. Thank you.
She should get this available.
She should please come again. Come again. The person that spoke should come again, please.
She should get all the dishes available.
She should get all the dishes available. Yeah, she should get all the dishes available. Sorry. She should get or the dishes available. Another person. We just need one more person, and we can move. Another person. Get the food flask clean. That's the dishes available. The place should be available. Another person. Dish it. Dish it. It's waste time now. Dish it. That's another step. Start dishing. So start dishing. Dishing. Or you can say or serving. Serving. As so the feeling objective. Let's say feeling relieved. Feeling relieved. She's done. She is done. So improvement opportunities, guys. Let's make this fast. Time is not by our side. Improvement opportunities, guys. Improvement opportunities. Improvement opportunities. Improvement opportunities. Okay, guys. Let's make this fast. Improvement opportunities. Oh, sorry. Improvement opportunity, guys. Let's move on. Improvement opportunities. Anyone? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
okay. Improvement opportunities, guys. You can always unmute your mic. It's not necessary you type. You can always unmute your mic. Always unmute your mic. The mic won't bite. You can always unmute it. Always unmute your mic. So improvement opportunities. Okay. We see thinking of what that would be. Okay, James is thinking. James, just say anything. James, just say anything that comes to your mind. It's not necessary you have to be radical. Just say anything. Get the dish ready ahead of time. Okay. We can make the app suggest a recipe and the meal for the following day so she can prepare ahead of time. Okay. Get the dish ready ahead of time. Get the dish ready ahead of time. Okay. Wait again. We can make the app suggest. We can make the app suggest a recipe for the following day so she can prepare ahead. Okay. Make the app suggest the following day meal and recipe so she can prepare ahead. About this, I'm going to make this responsive so you guys can always edit it. But I'm going to be sharing the file. So meanwhile I share the file, I'm going to redo this so you guys can easily use it. So we are done. I don't necessarily have to fill out everything. If it's just 3 actions the user take is enough. If it's 4, if it's 5. So I just did 6 in case of if our actions were many. So we can, if it's just 3, if it's even at times can be 2 actions. So just continue. And so we are done with our user journey map. Okay, save our time. Okay, so if everyone gets what we said on user journey map, please, I can say yes. You can get yes in the chat box. If you get what has been said so far, let's get yes in the chat box, guys. Let's get yes in the chat box, guys. Let's get yes in the chat box. Okay. Oh, I'm going to share the file after this. We're going to share the file. No problem. I'm going to share the file. You can always use it. I'm going to share the file. Okay. Okay. Yes, let's interact. Let's interact. Not everyone will be silent. Let's interact. It's fun. Let's make it fun. Okay. Let's make it fun. Let's make it fun. So we move to stakeholder interview, which will be our last touch point for today. Stakeholder interview is our last touch point for today. Stakeholder interview. So what is a stakeholder interview? What is a stakeholder interview? What is a stakeholder interview? A stakeholder interview is a session. A stakeholder interview is a session or meeting you hold or that is being held with the stakeholders of a product. So this is simply, who are stakeholders? These are people that owns a product. Like, it might not be the people that owns it exactly. It might be the executive. It might be the people that are in charge of the operations. It might not be the. It might be people that have shares. It might not be the owner exactly. Just stakeholder interview can be the general manager. Just a stakeholder person that is in charge of it. So this is a meeting you hold with them to understand more about the products, to understand what the product will do, and this to understand what the product will do, the people the product will be impacting, and how the product will impact them, and where the product will be used. Let's say just generally about the product, everything about the product. This is where you want to get to know from them what they want this product to do for them, their business goals with the project, what they want to achieve with the product in their business. So let's say this is a template for stakeholder interview. This is a template for it. So we have different templates. You can find different templates online, and these are templates I created. So you can input the stakeholders name. Let us say the stakeholder name is Mr. Jackson. Only you can put it there. The role, let us say, is the general manager. You can put the general manager there. The department, that's an executive department. You can put it as the executive department. Can then, since we said it's you want to know more about the product, so this is a template you can follow. This is a template you can follow now. Let's say number one question we have for them now. These are questions you ask them. An interview, you ask question. These are questions you ask them to know more about their product, to know more what the product will do for them. So our number one question, let's say, is can you describe what the product is about and what the product will serve or do? This is a question for them. Can you describe what the product is about and what the product will serve or do? So you want to know the product they're trying to be. You want to know their idea. It's not the general manager that will now come to Figma and start designing. It's you, the designer. So you want to know their idea. You want to know their view of the product. So, for example, let's say I'm the stakeholder. I can say, okay, I want to create an application for working moms that will help them prepare recipe and suggest meals for them so they can easily go about their day. So you see, that's an answer, and then you can move on and say which industry will the product be serving in. We can say the product should be serving in the food and nutrition industry. That's an industry. The product should be serving in the food and nutrition industry. Does your product have a business goal? If yes, state them. So yes, I know every business has a business goal. If it's to make more, have more user engagements by the end of the year, or you have more user base, or you have more people who trust you. So you have a business goal, or is to generate more income, or is to generate. So you have business goals. Business goals are entirely different from everybody. Everybody different. Business goals are different. So, what is the success measuring factor for your product? What is used to measure success? So, as a designer, you can use this as a KPI key. You can use it to measure progress in your product. You can use it to measure sorry, trying my tongue is twisted. You can use it to measure progress in your products. So KPI, key progress indicator. You can use it to indicate progress. So if the if the user say, if the stakeholder say a success factor is people should be able to perform these actions easily. People should be able to do what they want to do easily, or people should be to be able to understand what the app is about. People should be able to different sexual success measuring factor we have. So can I ask that? What are your products competitor in the market? What are your who are your products competitor in the market? Who are your competitors? Who are competitors? These are people that are offering the same business as your own business, are offering the same services as your own, are offering the same product as your own. So these are your competitors. So who are your competitors? You want your designer, you want to know the competitors of your stakeholders so you can be able to make more research. And we have what we call competitor analysis. Gabriel will be teaching you that. We have what we call competitor analysis, how you research on your competitors to be able to gain more insights on how to build your own product, to be able to gain more insights. So which of your competitors do you like and would like your product to also take the same direction? So we have, okay, let's say in the chocolate, the tea industry, in the tea industry now, we have many competitors. We have Milo, we have Cadbury, we have Bonvita, we have Ovaltine. So I know many people love Milo in Nigeria. Many people love Milo. So as let's say you are coming into this industry now as a stakeholder is coming into this industry. The stakeholder wants, okay, definitely everybody loves Milo. Many people buy Milo. Many people buy Milo. So okay, the person may want his own product to take the same direction, to want the product to have the same name. Like he wants the name to be as big as Milo. So you can know your key competitor. You can use these people to measure success. You can use them to grade your own product to know, okay, where and where should you improve. You understand what I'm trying to say? And even in technology, whatever, say for example social media, if the stakeholders they are trying to create a new social media app, so we have people like Facebook, they are your competitor. We have Threads, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have Telegram, we have WhatsApp, we have, so there are many people that so you know which of the competitor you want, that you know, okay, you want your product to follow their direction. Who are your product users? This is where you now start asking about your stakeholders users. Who are your product target users? They tell you who their product target user is. Looking, for example, let's say my target users are working moms, working dads, busy professionals, so something like that. Which location or part of the world will your users be experiencing or using your product? Which location? Let's say we are trying to target a specific location first. Like in most company, most organization MVPs, they try to target a certain location before going global. So let's say you are trying to target Middle Africa, let's say, or let's say the whole Africa, for instance. You're trying to target the whole Africa first before going global. So you can say, okay, our product is targeted at users in the African continent right now before we go global. So, does your user have accessibility needs? What is accessibility? Accessibility needs like accessibility. It's making things for people like who are living with disabilities. This is what we call accessibility. This making products or services for people who are living with disability, or who have disability. Don't let me say who are living, who have disability. So, does your users have accessibility needs? That is, do they have needs that might want to prompt us or you as a designer to create accessibility features for them? So, so let me give you a scenario here. Does your user have accessibility? I can say, okay, yes, some of my users have visual impairment, some of my users have hearing loss, some of my users have color blindness. So it's accessibility needs. Have your users, sorry, this is supposed to be have your users. Let me change that. So when you guys have your users been solving the problem your product wants to solve before? If yes, states them. People might have other alternative, even there's no other product before that's doing the same thing as just people have other alternative that isn't to achieve their goals, because in life we always surface, we try to look for ways to solve our problem. So people might have other ways, and you might want to look at these other ways, get an idea for them, get an inspiration from them, get how to make your product better from them. So you ask the stakeholder, do they have other ways the users used to solve their problem before your own product? So let's go ahead. Sorry, Control Z. So will your product collect, hold, and process user information? This stage now is where you ask about functional aspects of the application of the product. Will your product collect, hold, and process user information? So I'm trying to draw you guys back. When I mean product, I mean application interfaces. I'm just trying to use product because I'm a product designer actually. So I'm trying to use product. So when I mean say product, I mean applications, websites, web apps. So will your product collect, hold, and process user information? So the importance of this question most times is to be able to know whether you're creating a website, a blog site, an application, or a web page. So when we say it's, well, let's say for example, we ask the user, will your product collect, hold, and process user information? If the user say yes, that for example, they told you we want to create a website. We now ask them, will your product collect, hold, and process user information? And they say yes. What they are creating now is no more a website, it's a web app. It's a web app. Web app are websites that collect, hold, and process user information. So what they are trying to create now is a web app, not a website anymore. So the way you are going to charge them and the approach you are going to take is going to be different. You understand? So you don't end up going and start doing free work for people. So the way you are going to charge them, the approach you are going to take is going to be different. That's why we ask this question most of the time, and to get on the same page as stakeholder so you can understand them. Will your product use an API? What's an API? An API is a software that connects two softwares together. It's a third party software that connects two software. Like, let's say you know how on this your food ordering app like Chow Deck, and then you know how you can integrate. Okay, let me just use that. Let me use your Bolt or Uber. Let me say Uber is the Uber. On the Uber app, you know there's a map on it. So most of these applications, these ride applications, they integrate Google Map API into their application. This they integrate Google Map API. This is connecting Google Map, which is another software, and their own application, which is another software, is integrating it. Is integrating Google Map into their own software. So it's connecting these two softwares to share information. You understand what I'm trying to say? To share information. So will your product use an API? So if they say yes, so these are factors that will make it maybe you want to charge more to what. So what you tell the developers, these are factors you consider. Does your product have any special functionality or feature? If yes, list them. This is a stage where you ask, okay, if the product, maybe the user wants the product to scan people's face, wants it to take people fingerprints, wants it to scan goods, wants it to. So does it have any special functionality or feature? If yes, list them. So anything outside the normal features, like okay, they want something different. If they have, tell them they should state it. What would you like to include or say about your product that has not been asked or mentioned? This is where you now conclude your stakeholder interview. What would you like to include or say about your product that has not been asked or mentioned? Then the stakeholder can tell you what they feel, what they want, anything they want to include, anything they want to add, or something they probably forgot in the brief. They can include it here. So that's all on stakeholder interview. That's all. That's all for today. That's all for today. And if you have questions, you can start asking your. You can okay. Key performance indicator. Yeah, thank you. Key performance indicator KPI. Thank you for Joy. Thank you for that. Key performance indicator. Thank you for that. If you have questions, you can start asking now, please. You guys should ask your questions. I believe you can't say you don't have questions. Everyone has questions. You guys should start asking your question. And then in the meantime, let me show you something. Let me share the screen. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Hold on, Notion. So this is a Notion file that I would like to share with you guys. It's not yet completed. That's why I didn't use it. I would have used it for this class, but it's not yet completed. So this is a Notion file I would like to complete. I'm sorry, I'm going to complete, not even I would like. I'm going to complete it, sure. So I'm going to complete it and I'm going to be sharing it with you guys. I'm going to share it. I'm going to publish it as a website and I'm going to share it with you guys so you guys can know more about the design process, the process designers take to solve user problem, from the research to the user interview to the design part, the process and the stages involved and explanations. So I'm going to be publishing this as a site and you guys can view it. Let me show you something. Let me share my entire window. You don't. Okay, now you can see this is okay. Let me, sorry, I won't. Let me preview what I'm trying to show you. Let me show my entire screen so I don't start moving in between, in between. Okay, so now the design process. So this is going to show you the design process, the steps that is involved. So this is it here. The design process is a framework designers use to build a product from the blink of an idea to the final product or prototype. So this document is going to take you through every step. This is just like additional resource we're giving you out for free. So me, Gabriel, and Henry, we're going to come together, join our heads, and infuse all the learnings from previous classes into this to show you the design process and what you guys to expect, what you guys should know about the design process, how to go about it to be a more professional designer. So me, Gabriel, and Henry are going to collaborate on this to show you guys. And that's also, I'm going to complete it. We are going to complete it, not only me. We are going to complete it and we are going to share it with you guys so you guys can know more about the design process, the steps it takes to build a product from the blink of an idea. We're going to share this to you guys so you guys can know more about it. So if you have questions, start asking. I think people have started dropping questions. Let me check. So OG said, is it possible for a persona to have just one goal and frustration? Yes, it's possible. If what you're trying to build is not something very large, not something that is going to include various actions, and it's possible to have just one goal and frustration. It's possible. Very, very, very possible. So next person, let's go, guys. We don't have much time again. We think we have about 3 minutes left. So guys, let's try to answer most questions as possible. Okay, guys, let's try. Um, you can unmute your mic and unmute your mic and ask. Sorry, you can unmute your mic and ask. And unmute your mic and ask. Guys, ask a question. Okay, sir. If I'm to design a product for a client, why do the survey? Sorry, this is your question. Why do this survey? Who do? Okay, who does there? Okay, who does? I think I mean, if I'm wrong, Shadrach, you bring me back. I think you're trying to say who does the survey, the user journey map. Yeah, it's you as the designer. In the abroad, most times these works are mostly segmented, is divided among people, but because of in Nigeria industry, in the technology industry, they like to give many people that's to like a person to where might be doing the work of a UX researcher, might be doing the work of a designer. So that's why you say UI UX designer. So it's you are going to, if you are working for a Nigerian company, most of the time you are the one who's going to do the survey and the user journey map. But if you are working for a foreign company, most times you might be the it might not be the person doing it, it might be another person, but it's good to know the knowledge. Whichever industry you might be working in, it's good to know the knowledge. Good to have the knowledge. Sorry, good to have the knowledge. You guys can also use the opportunity to attend to the polls on the poll. Do you have an empathy? Do you have do you have empathy as a skill? You guys should. Okay, let me see. Do I have empathy? Yes, I'm a designer. Yeah. Okay, you guys can interact with the poll and you guys question, please come on with your question. Nofisat, do you have question? Ojiyama, Edwan, do you have question? We again. Joey, do you have question? Miriam, Atta, Caleb, Diana,
Uh,
Emmanuel,
sorry, I have a question.
Fellow. Okay, Maruf, you have a question. Okay, let's go.
Yes. Sorry, I missed the early part of the class. I joined late because of network. The idea,
Okay,
the ideology of the ideology of user persona in general. Uh,
Okay, user
Hello, can you hear
persona.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me
Yes,
give you a brief. Let me give
all
you a
right,
brief
all right.
explanation on what user persona is. User persona is a fictional character. User persona is a fictional character that represents the needs, or okay, whose goals and needs represent that of a group of users. So user persona is like fictional. It's something you create on your own. It's like a fictional. It's something you think you bring, but the information in them have to be researched back. So you input the you add informations. The informations on them are collated from the feedback you get from your interviews. So it's like from the response of your interview, you're trying to visualize group of users from the response of your interview. So this persona is representing a group of users. So this persona is like a leader to certain group of users. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's what you can to catch. You can see more we've said when
All
you
right,
get
thank
the
you.
recording. You can get see more with what we've said. Maruf has talked. Fellow Jits, is it Jitstar? If you have a question, James, if you have a question, Miriam Popola, if you have a question, Moses, Redwan Olai, Shedrack Akimbowale, Toby, if you have a question, Tochi, if you have a question, you guys should ask question. I think Adetunji, if you have a question, Caleb, if you have a question, I think I've mentioned Emmanuel. If you guys have question, please, you guys should ask, please. You can't tell me you don't have question. Ask anything in general. Just ask a question. And Star says he doesn't have question. Okay, you guys should ask your question. We need to round up now. You guys should ask your question. Okay, Emmanuel said he doesn't have. Okay. And if you have any further question, you can ask in the channel. You can
Sorry,
always
I
come
have
to me
another
or any of.
question.
Okay. Go on.
Hello, sir.
Go on. Maruf, I think it's network. Maruf, can you hear me? Go on with your question if you can hear me. Okay. Okay. I think Maruf's network is okay. OG Ama. Let's go.
Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Okay, Maruf. Okay. I'll come back to
Yes, I
that.
have a
Ama.
question. I have a
Okay,
question,
Maruf,
but
talk,
not
talk.
related to user persona. I don't know if I can ask. It's relating to
Okay. Let's see if it's related to product design. Let's go.
yes, responsiveness actually.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah, my main question now is that when we are designing for example, a landing page now, we
Mm-hmm.
are asked to make it responsive. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that when you reduce the size or when it takes the form of different screens, you
Mm-hmm.
have your content. What's now the essence of designing a landing page and then designing a mobile page by the side to when you can actually reduce the landing page to the size of the mobile and it take the form? Why redesign another interface for the mobile?
Okay. Okay, let me show you something. Let me show you something. You guys can see my screen, but let me go to Figma. Let me try to bring up.
Yes, we can see it.
Let me try to bring up. Okay, something I did back. Not this. Okay. Ẹni the address, I love you. Mama, wale ọlọ́ọ̀dẹ múra. Ó fẹ́ jẹ gbani. Kódà mo ní jòdì. Ó máa kú ọlọ́ọ̀dẹ owó dà. Sorry guys, I'm coming. Let me search for what I want to search for. Let me search for it. So let me share this with you guys so you guys can see. Let me share this with you guys. My Figma. Okay, this is a website redesign I did some time ago. It's been long, sure. It's been long. For year to everyone. So, Maruf, what you're saying right now is instead of creating for mobile view, can we
Yes.
just reduce the size? So let me say let me bring in a frame for mobile phone. Let me see. iPhone 14 Pro. So this is a frame for mobile phone now. So you said instead of creating for mobile view, can we just reduce the size? Okay, let's duplicate this. Let's duplicate this and let us scale it down. By hitting the K tool, you hold and drag. Let's scale it down. Let's scale it down. Let's scale it down to this size. Oh, sorry. Let's scale it down. Let's bring it here. Let's scale it down very well. Scale it down. Or you can just let us just input the numbers. I think this is 393. Let me just scale it down to 393. 393. So if I'm right, Maruf, sorry, this is what you meant by. So this is what you meant, right? Maruf, if this is what you meant, say yes, please. You can meet and say yes, Maruf.
No, no, that's not what I actually. What I'm saying is that the way you scaled it down, some of the
Mm-hmm.
properties of the elements that you have in the landing page, the desktop version.
Uh-huh.
When
Mm-hmm.
you with the use of auto layout and the likes, when you scale it
Mm-hmm.
down, they will take different forms. For example, when they are arranged horizontally, some will take the vertical form to fill in the. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I get you, Maruf, I get you.
So
So
I'm just confused. I'm just confused. So I want you to just.
the reason why we do that is for easy view and easy scanning of content. That's why we shift those things. You see, for like example, this now. If this is how something is on your mobile phone website, you see it's too congested. It's too congested. You can't easily because of I'm zoomed in now. Let me try and preview this for you so you can see. Let me try and preview this for you. Let me preview it. Let me try and preview it for you so you can see. You see that these things are very congested. So for proper view, so for proper readability and proper view, this is why we arrange some of these things. We put them horizontally instead of vertically, so you can be able to view them since your phone is not very large enough. So you can be able to view them properly, like images, things like images, text, and the rest. You can be able to view them properly without having to start zooming in and zooming out. There are some sites that they don't have mobile view. They're just like the desktop view when you are expressing it on a mobile phone. It's the desktop view that you have there. So you start zooming out. You start to have zooming out. You start zooming out or zooming in. So that's why we do things like that, so you can be able to read it properly. Maruf, I think that, or I hope that answers your question. And okay, OG Ama said, since a persona is representing a group of people, that means one product can have more than one persona. Yes, one product can have more than one persona. You can have even up to 5 persona if you have 5 group of users. Yes, yeah, that's very correct. You can have more than one persona. Atta said, if you make each element a component and make it responsive, it will be easy to just fix them in a mobile view format. Yeah, we'll teach you how to use components and we teach you how to use components, variables when we start designing. Yeah, Atta is correct. Yeah, we teach you how to make those component and variable responsive so you can use them. Yeah, we'll teach you with the use of auto layout. We're going to teach you that. Don't worry. I also think different screen sizes are designed so that a developer can develop your app and website properly and know different breakpoints for each screen. Yeah, that is also correct. Fellow Jitsa, that's also correct. So Maruf, fellow Jitsa has also answered the question for you also. And,
Okay.
Atta also has also answered the question for you. So I think that will be all for
Yeah,
today.
just it. Thank you.
Maruf,
Hello.
we are saying?
Yes, I said they just answered the question. Thank you.
Okay,
Um,
okay. So I think that will be all for today. When since everybody said they don't have any question again, that will be all for today.
hello, guys.
So
Hello, guys.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Um, you might hear my daughter's voice. I'm sorry about that. Okay, please, I want to appreciate you guys for your time, and most especially, we always want you guys to be comfortable. That's why we send email on time, and also send a reminder either 20 minutes of time or 30 minutes of time. I can actually tell the number of persons that are a lot of bit committed. You always see them on time. I don't want to mention name, but please try as much as possible. Take it, take it. I'm talking to take it. Try as much as possible to always.
You're not gonna carry your book at all, about Benny.
Please, I'm sorry about that. Try as much as possible to come on time and make sure that we finish the class on time. Hello, that's that, guys. I'm sorry. So just take care of yourself. If you have a kid, you understand. Bye bye.
Okay, Ridwan, if you're still here, let me answer your question real quick. How do we group our data for persona? Take for instance, we have 100 responses from the survey we conduct. How do we group it